out a newsletter because of these algorithms that unfortunately take some of our newsletters and just drop them in the spam boxes of our people so that they aren't seeing them. And that is the kiss of death when it comes to being an entrepreneur, because our newsletters are the things reaching people, and they are the things that are getting people to buy from us. And so we know we need to be taking care of our newsletters. Today, I'm breaking down my number one tip to make sure your newsletter does not end up in spam folders because of those icky email algorithms. We're breaking down everything you need to know today, but before we get there, we have breaking social media world news. I'm so excited for this one, guys. We are talking all about a Facebook platform edition. So are you ready for this one? Today, we're talking all about my number one method to keep your newsletters out of spam folders here on Social Media for Bosses. Every single Thursday, we are live at 3 p.m. Eastern, giving you breaking social media world news and teaching you how to grow a profitable business through smart social media marketing. So are you ready? Breaking news. We just found out about this. I'm very excited for this one. I haven't even reported it to you because I just found out just a few minutes ago. Facebook now allows us to change how we are tracked by the pixel. So we know that Facebook has a pixel. It kind of works like a cookie, and people can embed it on their website. When you go to that website, you are then tagged. And when people go to run an ad on Facebook or Instagram, because we know Facebook owns Instagram, they are then able to send a specific ad to you because you were on that website and the pixel noted that you were there. Now, Facebook is allowing us to change how we are handling that privacy on our Facebook page. So let me grab you a graphic, because you can actually determine if you want to erase your history, and you can determine if you want a specific website to never be able to track you again. We're going to talk about this, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So let me pull up my graphic here, because I can actually show you specifically how you can do this on your page before we jump into today's lesson. So here we go. We do have our Facebook history here. And what you're going to do is go to your privacy settings. And if you need, this is a great time to snap a picture of this so that you can refer to it later or come back and watch the video later on. You're going to go to settings and privacy. You're going to scroll down to off Facebook activity. So these are any of those websites that have the pixel that are tracking you, and you can control it from there. Once you have clicked off Facebook activity, you're going to go down to manage your off Facebook activity, and then you're going to see a list of the people who have accessed you in the last little bit of time. You can see there we've got a whole bunch of people who have pinged me with their pixel and could potentially be serving me ads. Now, I clicked on one of those just to show you what it's like. I clicked on Panera Bread because you guys know I love my Panera. That is such a great restaurant. If you love Panera, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to be Panera friends with you guys. And you have the ability to then see what they have done. So I've had 11 interactions with them. I can go down and I can turn off future activity from Panera Bread so that they can no longer track me. And it kind of shows me what's going on with that. Now, if you backtrack just a little bit, go to that third screen in the middle there, you can actually see where it says clear history. That's going to take away all of your history. So any places that you've been before can no longer track you for that time. So anybody that had been serving you ads with the pixel in mind, that is going to all go away. But then you can take it a step further and then ban them from contacting you further through that pixel ad. Interesting, right? Pretty interesting. So Facebook has now given us the ability to do that, which is pretty dang cool. And we can now control our privacy. So let me know, what do you guys think about this? Is this interesting to you? On one hand, we have marketers who are no longer going to be able to reach the people that they want to reach because they came to their website. But on the other hand, if people are going in and saying, I don't want to see your ads anymore, I don't want you to be reaching me, that qualifies our leads. So as an entrepreneur, it's very, very scary because all of a sudden we can't reach an entire audience if they start to opt out. But it also qualifies our audience, which means we're going to get people who want to hear from us, which means we're going to get people who are prepared or closer to being prepared to buying from us. So scary as it is also potentially a good thing. We're going to see how this plays out. I want to hear from you guys. Have you heard about Facebook's new privacy policies and how they are giving us control over it? And what do you think? I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. If you are live, go ahead and drop your social media questions today. And we are going to dive in because we are talking all about the number one way that you actually can make sure your email does not end up in people's spam boxes. Real quick before we do, Couple of shout outs. Great points about purging your list. Might as well keep those that are engaged. It makes perfect sense. 50 something original. Super excited to have you here on our YouTube page this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Your Empowered Purpose with Tamala says, I love this Q&A. Great point about it costing us money and impacting our standing with email providers. I haven't done this yet. This is a great show. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. We love, love, love when you guys are hanging out with us on social media. Lauren says, never even thought about doing this. And we are hanging out with Alyssa Carr. Wow. Over in our YouTube page. She was on our video. She was actually on our live stream Ask Me Anything yesterday and said, thanks so much for answering my questions. Great info. We did hang out with Beatrix this week, who also says, really great information. So much was covered. Thank you for sharing and answering these questions. Well, thank you, Beatrix, for coming to hang out with us. We appreciate you being here. And I'm glad that this information is helpful to you. And Morgan jumped in today as well. She said, so helpful. Thanks, as she was going through our Instagram hacks series. So if you guys want to be shouted out here on social media, this is the place. Make sure that you are hanging out with us. And unfortunately, that just stuck on my screen. That also stuck on my screen. There we go. We're clear. All right, let's dive in and let's talk all about my number one method to help keep your newsletter out of spam folders. So let's talk all about this. How do you actually keep your newsletter from getting tagged as spam? So we know that a lot of newsletters are sending out content that the algorithms say people don't like this. This sounds spammy. They're trying to sell something and they put it inside of people's spam folders. When they do that, people are usually not seeing them for a good chunk of time because people don't check their spam folders every day for the most part. So how do you actually go about keeping your newsletters from getting tagged? Well, we're going to break down a couple of ways, and then I'm going to give you my number one tip for making sure your newsletters stay out of those spams. So the first thing is to watch your content. Your content needs to be valuable. It needs to be helpful. It needs to be good. It needs to be stuff that people are engaging with. You have to create content that people actually want to open. So if you're not creating good content and people aren't even opening your emails, that's going to tell the email service providers that you're not creating value, and they're going to start tanking your ratings. They're going to start putting your stuff right into those spam boxes. Now, you also want to make sure that you are teaching your subscribers when you are going to be sending out your newsletters and what to expect from those. So you want to teach them what they're going to see inside of your newsletters. If they know you're giving quality and valuable content, you're teaching them, you're educating them, you're entertaining them in some way, they're going to continually open up your newsletters. And when they know when it's coming, they're going to start looking for it. So if you send out your newsletter every single Tuesday, they're going to start looking for you every single Tuesday and they won't miss it, even if it does end up in the spam. You want to make sure you are educating them on what they're going to see every single week and when they are going to see it so that they are ready to do it. And then, of course, make sure that your newsletter is value packed. You want to make sure that it has tremendous value to them. And it's not just you talking to them, but it is you actually having a really great conversation that gives them quick wins within their businesses, within their lives, within their families' lives, whatever it is you happen to do. You want to make sure that you are giving them really good value, because when you give them good value, they consistently open you up. And then we come to giving them a reason to engage. And here's where we're starting to get into my number one tip here. I'm really, really excited about this one, because when you get people to engage with your newsletter, much like social media, the algorithms are going to take notice of what you're sending and they're going to rank you higher. And that means they're going to stop putting you in spam boxes. So my number one tip to you is give them a reason to engage. You want them to take action within your email. Maybe you are going to be getting them to reply to you, which is great, but sometimes it takes a little bit of work to get them to reply to you. If you can get them to reply to you, you're good. As soon as you start getting those responses from people, the algorithms love that and they're going to take care of you. But if you want something a little bit easier, something that has a little bit less of a barrier to entry and something that requires less work from your people than actually sitting there and typing something back to you, what I'm going to suggest to you is what I do inside of all of my newsletters, and that is to create a poll. So here we go. If you're taking notes, now is the time. Get your pen out. You're not going to want to miss this. So when you are doing this, you are creating a poll inside of your newsletter. You have to make this super, super simple for them. So you're asking a simple question and you're giving them 2 answers. It's not multiple answers, it's 2 answers because you're making this easy for you and you're making this easy for them. For me, let me give you an example of my author life. So as an author, I frequently send out polls to my people and I say this character or this character. Or I say, should I do this or should I do this? Or should I read this book or should I read this book? And it's just 2 simple answers. And all they have to do is click on the answer. Now, that actually brings me to my next point. Do not send these people to a page to participate in your poll. Your poll is within your newsletter. It is not on an exterior page because that adds one more step. And when you add one more step, people are going to stop doing things. The less steps it involves, the more likely you are and the higher you are to get people to engage with you. You are going to get that higher rate of engagement. So let me break down how you actually do this because I do this all the time and I see great results from this within my own businesses and it keeps me out of those spam boxes. Now, when I'm setting up a poll, what I'm doing is creating a section within my newsletter, and I am going to then pose the question. Usually, well, it depends. This depends on what your business is. So we talked yesterday in our Ask Me Anything session. We had a lot of questions about newsletters. So make sure you check that out if you haven't yet. And I said different types of entrepreneurs will have different lengths of newsletters. And some entrepreneurs will have different sections and they talk about the stuff that they're putting out this week, content-wise for their people. And some people are just sending straight text emails. And it really depends on what niche you're in. So check out that video if you want more information on where you fall in that spectrum. And then you are going to, if you do have longer content emails, it's more on the entertainment side, you are going to have sections and you're going to create a section. You're going to create a pretty graphic to go with this. Maybe your choices are in graphics. Maybe you're using some GIFs in this and you're going to make it nice and pretty to fit in with your newsletter. If you are straight text, it is just going to be a question and then 2 little words for them to click on. So as you're designing this, you are actually going to create a page or a subdomain on your website. And these are actually 2 pages. So one for one answer and one for the other answer. So let's just say I've asked a yes or no question. Should I go to Starbucks today? And my fans are going to vote on it. And I'm going to say yes or no. I can design it pretty if it fits my branding, if it fits the type of newsletter I'm sending out, or I could keep it simple, just the word, and they just have to click on it. And then the yes link will go to a yes page or subdomain, and the no link will go to a no page or a no subdomain. And when you do that, all that happens is they are clicking on the button, and that is an exterior link. So at that point, they've just voted. They don't have to go anywhere else, do anything else. Their voting is done. They can move on with their lives. Your website gets the hit, which is super helpful, guys, in SEO terms. And then you also are tagged as having that external link clicked inside of your email. Have you ever been in your email service provider and gone and looked at your statistics and seen how many people are actually clicking on those exterior links or those external links? That's an important feature here. We want people to be going from our newsletter to our website. We really want them to be actively clicking this link. And because you turned it into a simple poll where they're just giving their opinion and all they had to do was click one button, you just got them to go to your website, so you got hits on your website. You got them to go to an exterior link so that your newsletter is tagging you as someone who has engagement on your newsletter, which means you are now someone who is valuable. You are someone who is getting interaction. And if you're getting interaction, people are going to want to open your newsletter according to the algorithm. So they're going to stop putting you in the spam folder because they know now that people are interacting with you. They want to see the content you're sending out, obviously, because they're actively clicking on it and engaging with it. And they are going to stop hiding it from people. So you are going to make sure that you are using 2 buttons when you are putting this here. And you can use pictures. You can use GIFs, you can use words, you can use actual buttons. Your email service provider is going to have a lot of different options, and you can do it yourself as well. I like to use graphics a lot of the time, especially if they're picking between 2 things. And I will create a pretty graphic with a picture of whatever it happens to be, or I will create a button with the words, which is actually something I do more frequently. I'll have buttons that kind of mimic what it looks like to have those polls on Instagram. So if you go into Instagram stories and use their features to use the poll feature, I actually made it look like that. So it looks like social media when they are in my newsletters, and they can then click on it and I get all those really cool, amazing points. And then you're going to want to make sure you hyperlink the button or the graphic or the whatever that you have put there, and then put maybe the words below it as well. So they have two options for clicking, and whichever one they click, they'll go to that page and you'll get all the credit for it, and you will stop getting spam tagged. Amazing, right? So you are making sure that you are going to get them to click because it shows engagement. And emails with engagement are the ones that the algorithms like. It actually helps your algorithm standing. It bumps you up. And engagement actually means that it is less likely to get tagged as spam. Pretty cool, right? If you've got questions, if you're joining me live, I can see you guys are here hanging out with us. I appreciate you being here. Go ahead and give me a shout out. Let me know what type of an entrepreneur you are, and I'll give you examples of how you can use a poll in your business. I will give you specific, catered to your entrepreneurial niche examples right now if you let me know who you are and what type of business you are running. So we are going to be chatting about this for just another minute as we are breaking down exactly how you can make sure that your newsletter does not end up in a spam folder. If you've got social media marketing questions, I would love to get those answered for you. We are live every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. right here on YouTube, answering your questions in real time on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, IGTV, YouTube, TikTok, your newsletter, your blog, your website. I'm answering them all for you live in real time every 20 minutes every Wednesday at 10 a.m. The Social Media for Bosses talk show is here live on YouTube every single Thursday at 3 p.m. where we're bringing you special guest stars. You guys are not going to want to miss next week. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but dang, my guest star is going to be good. So we've got a lot of really cool things going on. We also have the Social Media for Bosses podcast, which drops every single Sunday and is exclusive, totally unique content from here because we're building your profitable businesses through smart social media marketing. And now you've got videos here every Tuesday and Friday. You have the Social Media for Bosses live stream talk show every Thursday at 3, the podcast every Sunday, and a live Ask Me Anything every Wednesday at 10 a.m. so you can get answers in real time and not even have to wait for my videos or my trainings or my tutorials or my webinars or my courses or any of the extra stuff that I am doing for you guys. You can get those answers in real time. And if you are enjoying today's episode, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to give me a shout out and bring your friends. You all have entrepreneur friends. I know you do. We don't live in a world where we don't have entrepreneur friends. Bring them to the party and let's grow our social media together and create those profitable brands through smart social media marketing. So share, and let me know. What do you want to see in upcoming episodes? Do you want to learn more about your newsletter? We talked all about newsletters yesterday in our Ask Me Anything, and I would love to get your questions answered on newsletters or any of the social media platforms. If you want to be a guest on my show, I want to hear from you guys. If you teach in the social media or digital marketing world, you are the ones that I want to hang out with. Come be on my show and educate my people. And if you have somebody you would love to see on the show, please let me know. I would love to reach out to them and get them on the show so that you can learn from them as well, as we're breaking down everything you need to know to create a profitable business through smart social media marketing. And of course, you can join us every Thursday. I definitely thought this was a different button, but you can join us every Thursday at 3 for new episodes of the show live here on YouTube. Make sure you are hitting the subscribe and notification bell so that you don't miss out on all the videos and live broadcasts and breaking news, like when we told you at the beginning of the show that Facebook has now allowed us the ability to change our privacy so that we are not stalked by websites who want to sell us things. Check out everything that you need to know at the beginning of the show. If you are joining me partway through our live broadcast, you're going to want to go back and check that out. And you do not want to miss out on the things that are coming up really, really soon. We are dropping the first episodes of Social Media for Bosses podcast this weekend. I'm so excited for it. You can search us on all of the all of the streaming platforms. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We are on Apple Podcasts, which is the same thing. We're on all the big ones. So come hang out with us. It's going to be lots of fun. You can also listen at socialmediaforbosses.com. And if you've got social media questions, now's the time to drop them. I would love to get those answers for you. And of course, you can join me for our live Ask Me Anythings every single Wednesday. New videos Tuesday and Friday. All the fun, fabulous things. Thank you so much for joining me as we were chatting today about my number one tip for keeping your newsletter out of spam folders, because that is the worst thing that could possibly happen for your business. So working together, we are keeping those out of those spam folders. I'm Cam Robinson, your social media marketing strategist who loves to talk really, really fast like a Gilmore Girl on 18 cups of coffee. Fun fact, I don't actually drink coffee, but I talk really, really fast. And I'm breaking down all the tips that you need to know, along with breaking social media world news. We break it before anybody else in most cases, and we would love to make sure that you are staying on top of the algorithm changes, platform additions, and the trends that you need to know to grow your profitable business. Next week, next Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, we are talking about how to budget for social media ads with financial planner Kimberly Graham. She is breaking down everything we need to know to save that money so that we can get our Facebook ads, our Instagram ads, our YouTube ads, our TikTok ads. She is breaking down exactly what you need to know. And then immediately after the show, we have an in-depth how to make sure you are paying yourself as a small business entrepreneur in-depth training inside of my group, Social Media for Bosses, over on Facebook. Come join us. We are on Facebook and on all the social media platforms at KM Robinson Social, and you can come join our private, exclusive, members-only group where we are bringing you bonus trainings like how to make sure you get paid as an entrepreneur with amazing people like financial planner Kimberly Graham. I'm so excited for this one. Do not miss this. You want to join me next week, 3 p.m. every Thursday, right here on YouTube. Come hang out, socialmediaforbosses.com and kmrobinson.com for more. You can grab our free hashtag guide over there where we're breaking down the #1 offender that's probably killing your account and what to do about it and how to fix it to make sure you're getting seen on Instagram, plus a whole bunch of other bonuses. Thanks so much for joining me. Drop your social media questions. I will see you guys again next week in the video, and stay tuned because tomorrow we're actually dropping a video here on YouTube all about how you can leverage those viral Instagram challenges. There's a big one that came out this week. If you guys have not seen it, get on Instagram. We're going to tell you exactly how to use that within your business and not your personal profile. So we're taking something that's very personal and leveraging it for your business to insert you into the conversation. Make sure you're getting seen by the right people. So join us for this video coming out tomorrow. And then we've got some really great stuff for you next week as well. I'm dying, guys. This is going to be so, so good. And on the podcast, we're actually breaking down 10 ways that you can be repurposing video content. We're talking about one simple way in 10 minutes that you can up your Instagram algorithm standing in 10 minutes a day. And we're talking about how one of my students made an extra $4,000 inside of her business in a matter of months as a first-year entrepreneur simply by marketing on Instagram. $4,000 from Instagram, directly linked to posting on Instagram. We're going to break down exactly how to do that because we're dropping the first 3 episodes of the podcast this weekend. Socialmediaforbosses.com and all of the streaming platforms. I will see you guys again next week. Until then, have a great day and stay inspired.